An appreciation letter in the form of a video to our hero, Mike Hollins.
You are Locked On Virginia, your daily podcast on the Virginia Cavaliers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good day, viewers and listeners. I am your host, Big Law Lawrence Johnson, and welcome to the Locked On Virginia Cavaliers podcast, your first place to come to get your daily Wahoo Fix as part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Of course, let's get this show going, man. The date is 3/21/2023, and as you guys can see, I'm on location for business, and just wanted to still get my shows in with you and share some time, get some time with you. And as I said before, this is a show that we're going to dedicate to Mike Hollins. And usually, you know, when you're honoring or you want to speak to somebody in a personal way, and you really want to speak to them and praise them, you would pen a letter. You would sit there and you would talk, and or you would have your thoughts, speak to yourself about what you want to say and how you want to format it. But I'm going to try to do this in a video, and this is just kind of based off of what I saw today with the video. Of course, this is one of the first videos that he's given since November 13th. It was after practice, and you know after the tragedy, all the things that went on, it's truly a miracle and amazing to, number one, to see him thrive the way that he is. And there's just a lot to unbox with this. Mike is truly an extraordinary young man on multiple levels. And you guys, want to chime in and add some comments to this, of course, please do, because, this is so much bigger than our program, and so much bigger than any individual. I call Mike our hero. Mike is a hero. He is our hero here at Virginia, and he's also, in my opinion, one of the reasons, he's almost like saving the program as well. Also, we have to give Marley Morgan as well prayers as well, for her survival. She survived the tragedy as well. But Mike said some incredibly insightful things for a man his age. And for me, I don't even know, at his age, my early 20s, if I even had the gumption, the wherewithal to understand, what actually happened, and then to process it and to figure out why it was done. And not necessarily figure out why it was done, but figure out, because it was done, what it could mean for him moving forward in his life. So, spring practice continues to go off, go well. However, of course, remember the spring practice is going off. The spring game is April 15th. Make sure you're there. I will be there as well. But it's going off without a bang. It's happening. Okay. But really, that's not the story, man. The biggest story, or the biggest thing this spring and moving forward, as long as he's here, is Mike Hollins. I don't know if you've ever encountered somebody, or you've been close to somebody, or you've, experienced, a situation that was life-threatening and life endangering, and you were blessed enough to come out on the other side to still be here with us and to make your life a purpose after that, and understand that you're going to help others with it. That's what Mike is doing. And I'll elaborate on that a little bit later. But he said some things that were just really cool. He said people, reporters were asking him, Mike, did you feel like you wanted to leave the University of Virginia? And his response, which was so mature, which was so, on point, as far as just a thoughtful young man. Shout out to Miss Brenda, raising an awesome young man, as Mike is. He said, yeah, I could have left and, tried to establish myself somewhere else. He said, yeah, the natural feeling is to leave after a tragedy happens. But he said something that was just really profound to me. He said he wanted to reestablish himself here, not just himself. He wanted to establish himself with the community, with friends, with family, with the people who went through this tragedy with him. That right there is selflessness infinity. That is something that you just do not find in someone of his age. That kind of wisdom. Now, usually, and there's nothing wrong with this. Some folks may want to leave. They want to wash their hands with the situation. They want to just get away from it. There's nothing wrong with that, and that is a good thing to do for yourself. Some people need to do it that way, but to stay here and to grind with it, and to understand that he's here to help people heal. And for me, and I've been a man of service myself, where, you do it for others. And he's doing it for others, this time through. And all I can do right now is just kind of praise Mike, which is why I said this is a letter in the form of a video to our hero, Mike Hollins. But before I finish or continue on with this video appreciation for Mike, the tournament is heating up, and now is the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, because new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's bonus bets back if your first bet doesn't win. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. It's safe, secure, and super easy to use. You can bet on everything from money line to point scores and threes drained. There's also different types of betting that you can do when it comes to the NBA. Pick your favorite NBA team. That can include core markets, spreads, money lines, total, player props, player points, rebounds, assists, etc. And so many more exclusive bets like 2x3. 2 3-pointers scored in the first 3 minutes. Plus, FanDuel even lets you combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payout with the same game parlay. So don't miss out for your chance to get our no sweat first bet up to $1,000 in bonus bets when you go FanDuel.com/locked on. That's FanDuel.com/locked on to learn more. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. But Mike Hollins is doing something that is so miraculous right now that I just don't see how he could even continue. Now, keep in mind, I don't want to really take you guys back like that, but I just have to recap, what happened with him. Of course, if you're not aware or you're just didn't get the news, Mike was shot in the back, by a fellow student who is in a jail in Central Virginia. But Mike got shot in the back, and it damaged his kidney and his small intestine. And, you kind of think, all right, this man, from one of the things that he had said was he did not know, well, he got shot and he was running. And he, I guess I believe the story goes is he felt like he had, he didn't want to go too far because he felt like if he went too far, someone wouldn't find him. That right there is a miracle. So he found a student that was there, there at the tragedy, and kind of help him maintain until they could get the paramedics there. That alone, the mind, you want to talk about somebody who knows how to act, react, and survive in a tragedy. That alone right there is next level. So, to have the wherewithal to stop running or to not to go too far so someone couldn't find you, I just don't know, if a lot of us would have had that in us. But yes, he, doctors told him, he would not be able to put on his own socks from 4 to 6 months. People ask Mike, when did you start to heal? And just like, can't keep saying it, man, enough. A mature young man, he said, the physical, I felt like, I could recover from, it was just the mental, getting, or healing from the mental stress, the mental health of going through that tragedy and the grind and the, going through that every day, and trying to heal from that, and then still have the strength mentally to come back from that. I get the physical stuff, like he said, but, you know, to have the mental strength to not just survive, not just to, be a regular, live as a regular human, but to come back and play football. He said that he's playing, he's gonna, he's missing his fallen teammates, but he said, in honor of them, he wants to continue to play. I'm floored by it all. We all should be floored. Another thing, the most important thing, is he completed his degree. He got his undergraduate degree in December. This young man is amazing. You know, and he said, yes, I could have gone somewhere else. I could have left, but he did not leave. He stayed to stick it out with us. And that is truly something amazing that you just don't hear from someone of his age. He's far above his, everything from a mental, emotional, spiritual level. He's just a special young man. He said, what a better place to reestablish himself than right here on the grounds in Charlottesville. Mike is a hero, man. More ways than one. He went back to try to save his friends. And, and that's just the courageous part. He the physical part, of course, as well, trying to rebuild his core, the muscles in the areas where he was damaged, for him to just continue to persevere. I'm just floored by it, man. But Mike is special, man. He's a special young man. I think he's gonna, he's already, a beacon of hope for us here. But I think Mike is going to do a lot of special things after he's done playing, after he gets his second degree. And I think he's studying maybe mental health studies for a secondary degree. And I think that's absolutely amazing because he knows firsthand of what he's going through with the mental part, the mental trauma that athletes go through, and of course what he's going through. So he's tested in that realm. But where we can help him as a community, and that's what, and it's another thing. I have to give our community, and I didn't. I never thought that we would be not come in the right way. We're not reacting the right way when it comes to a situation like this. But we're there to support. One thing you'll find out about our community, Virginia community, Charlottesville, we will support each other. We will support. We will take care of our own. I mean, it's nothing new from the college world, but something like this happens. Everyone is running together on this, man. And like I said, Mike just I said he was a hero, and I talked about all the personal things that he's going through in his battles, and his in him reestablishing himself. But he also, just on some secondary kind of a conversation, I think he's saving the football program. Honestly, I really do. I mean, he said Carla, and some of the coaches, the players are supporting him. I think Mike coming back is saving the football program. And I'm saying that in a way that's not negative to anybody else, not negative to any football leadership or anything. I'm saying just from a spiritual core situation, Mike is saving the football program. The heart and soul. Mike is the heart and soul of this team moving forward, and he will be for the next few years. I know he may have a year of eligibility left or so, but I think Mike's contribution right now, he's putting it back into the University of Virginia. A lot of these players are playing because of the inspiration Mike is giving him. Also, because of the lost brothers that they have. But for Mike to jump back on the field, it's a renewed spirit. The sadness of the loss of the other young men, that is definitely something that we're still having to go through and process. But to have Mike out there gives everyone hope, and the first game of the year, I'm just saying, guys, if you're not there to support this team, okay, I'm going to question you, every last one of you. I don't care about the wins and losses, in the beginning of the year or whatever. If you're not there the first time this team gets an opportunity to play together, and the spring game, there's going to be some of that, yes. And that's going to be highly emotional. Probably one of the most emotional times that I'll ever be a part of. I'll be in the press box. I'll be there. I'll be there with all of y'all. And I want to see all of you guys. I want to see all of you viewers, fans, friends, listeners. I want to see you guys walking through that west gate. Okay? Because that's where I'm usually am. And I think I'm going to stand out there. And I'm just going to say hi and just greet all of you. I'll be standing out there just to say hello, because I'm just happy to be part of this community and proud of this community and what they have done to recover and to support, the people that are going to be there on the 15th are what we call our foxhole fans. No matter what, they're going to be there. Okay? I will be there personally to say hello to everybody. And also, I will visit a tailgate or 2 or 3 as well. Just to say hello. just to visit you guys because I really appreciate the community we have, and the fans who really have done, something loving and impressive for what's been going on, man. Because we've needed it. We've needed it. And that first game, I expect that stadium to be packed. I don't care what what you guys will say about, the team's not going to be all that great. We'll probably lose or we'll have a tough team or, I get the Tennessee game. I'm not talking about a Tennessee game. And the Tennessee game is going to be tough too. That's away. I'm talking about our first game on the grounds in Charlottesville. I want to see you guys there, our first home game. Because it's about healing and it's about bringing it back to what we're used to seeing and what we're used to living in our community. And I get it. You guys may not want to be with me on a lot of this, but I expect to see you there. We may not see eye to eye on some things. I know, I'll put videos out. I'll put, articles out. People may not agree with me. I've heard that. I felt that. I get it. We went, had trouble down in Orlando in the basketball team. People really jumped on me. I get it. That's a part of it. But for this situation here, hey, man, I will question you if you do not show up. And for those people saying, I don't want to get my season tickets, get your season tickets, please. Get your season tickets. And I'm not saying, you know what? I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave that at that. Okay. And let me get back to Mike because Mike just deserves, our support and as we've been giving and moving forward. But he wants to rebuild with you. Be there, and we need to reciprocate that and rebuild with him from us giving to him. And a lot of times I don't get religious on a lot of these things, especially on, my platforms here. But he said, and this gave me chills, and I'm just gonna have to say it because it was that powerful. You know, day to day, his words now, day by day, he said God has a plan for him. He said God has a plan for him. And he said he's been put in position to bless, to inspire and bless others. How deep and selfless is that from this young man? Mike Hollins is our hero. Bottom line, let's just support him and move forward with it, guys. Follow me. Follow him. I trust that young man. I really do. Makes me emotional thinking about it because I've mentored young men my entire life. My year as teacher, my coaching career, football, I've mentored young men my entire life. And he's one of the good ones. I mean, I didn't mentor Mike, but I feel like he's, one of the special ones that I wish I would have had the opportunity to coach him as well and mentor him as well. He's that special of a young man. But in other news, I will be doing a basketball postseason wrap-up. You guys probably want to hear that, being that you guys have, like I said before, hammered me and given me the business, on that game we lost in Charlotte, in the March Madness tournament. And I get it. So we will do a postseason wrap-up. Also, I have a show with my guy Casey Pizzalia coming up, so don't just sit tight because we will have that as well. And also, shout out to the baseball team. They keep rocking. They just beat High Point today. High Point, North Carolina, which is what I'm close to. I'm out here in Greensboro. Corporate training. But shout out to the baseball team. Coach O'Connor. Keep doing your thing, man. I'm trying to get to Omaha with you. I'm going to keep saying it until I get there. till we get there. Me and my guy Casey, and maybe my guy Ed. We're just gonna keep running it, man. Keep going. But as I said before, we're in this together, guys. Please subscribe and like the page on YouTube and on Odyssey and on all of my podcast platforms. Wherever you guys can find me, just like it, subscribe to it. Get on there. Spotify, wherever I am. Just get on here and like us, and we'll keep this conversation running. Put comments down. I will respond. I really appreciate you guys. And thanks for making Locked On Virginia your first listen today. For your second listen, make sure you check out our brand new podcast, Locked On College Basketball. Experts Isaac Shade, Andy Patton bring you everything you need to know on and off the court. Plus, hear from big name experts, coaches, players throughout the basketball landscape. Locked On College Basketball, available on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Wahoo wah. Thank you so much.